Sports Night continues here from the Wild Wing Cafe. Always an entertaining segment coming up here. The questions from the audience. It is from our Swiftwick Sox Little League Team of the Week, who happens to be the Nolensville Panthers from the Pee Wee Division. They've had an outstanding season, reached the championship game in their league.
Congrats to them. Remember last week?
It's been a great year.
We had some, let's see, what's the best way to phrase it? Outside the box questions?
Yes.
A little bit off the beaten path?
Yes, quite a
questions?
bit. Quite a bit. So we'll get Damian Williams back up here in just a moment. Monday Night Football coming up later on, 102.5 The Game. We've got a lot of great things coming up this week around the Tennessee-Vanderbilt game. Of course, waiting, hoping for some news on the hockey front. It is definitely beyond crunch time. It is incredibly frustrating. But we keep our fingers crossed on that.
I hate to say it, but if they don't come to some type of an agreement this week, what does that mean?
I think they're going to whack December.
Yep.
Is what's going to come down to.
And that means it's on life support, right? The season.
Well, it depends on, if you played 64 games, that's at least something close to a real season. If you got to go down to 45 or 50 games, which is basically what you would have to do, then even if you played it, it would be a season that everybody's going to have an asterisk by and stuff like that, like you did back in the, what was it, 94-95 season, where that's basically what happened. So this is a huge week. This is the last week you could get something done and then still play starting around Thanksgiving weekend or December the 1st.
I do want to ask Damian before we go out to these young men that are having a great year, our team tonight, Nolensville Panthers. Since you're going out to the USC and
other people game. Okay,
yes.
Cool. Continue.
You've watched this Marquise Lee kid. How good is he? I mean, it seems like every time they throw to him, he turns it into an 80-yard touchdown.
What I do know is that what people see on TV, they haven't even had the luxury of seeing him in action.
He's only a sophomore, right?
Yeah, he hasn't come back to school. He's only a sophomore. But I've worked out with him in person. The kid's special. Like he's a very special kid. There's not too many people that can do what he does consistently week in and week out.
All right, let's go out to Zach Bingham. He is standing by with the youngsters from the Nolensville Panthers. We've got some great prizes we're going to give away, courtesy of Sports Seasons and also from New Balance of Cool Springs. Zach, what do we got this week?
Well, we got Logan here. Logan, what position you play?
Nose guard.
What's your question?
What's your favorite thing about football?
First of all, you gotta love the nose guard here. This guy looks pretty tough.
He does look pretty tough. He looks like he can get in that backfield too, man. He's kind of small.
Show us your stance. I know this is radio.
Let's see this. Let's see
your
technique.
stance.
The nose guard technique. Let's see the stance.
I like
it.
Yeah. He could definitely get by a couple centers.
It looks like a football card.
What do you call it when the nose? Is it the three techniques where you play off to the side a little bit? You kind of put
three technique.
Yeah, it looks like he can go that way.
Yeah, he could definitely do that. He could definitely do it.
All right. Favorite thing about football?
My favorite thing about football.
Getting your own show.
A very broad question.
Where does that rank?
You know what? What used to be my favorite thing about football was just the fact that I got to go outside and hit people. I used to love it when I was in high school. I played defense actually, and I loved every opportunity to hit somebody. Like it was just a blast. Not that I'm a violent person, but I just really enjoyed it. Now my favorite thing about football is just the platform that it creates. I think that so many people get an opportunity to watch us do what we do on Sunday, but they don't really know what we're all about, who we are as people and whatnot. So I think that because of that, so many people they're so interested in that. So I think that the platform that the level of football creates gives us an opportunity to kind of let people know who we are, and show people that outside of football that we are just decent human beings.
You know what? I'm going to pat you and Jason McCourty on the back. In fact, I was telling Willie this during one of the breaks. You guys this year with these youth groups coming in here and your guests, I don't want to leave out your guests that you brought along. What you do during the breaks is a lot of fun to see, and it's really cool how you guys interact with kids that are just out there having fun. playing football maybe for the first time in some cases, and just how you interact with them. We really appreciate it. It's really cool to see the expressions on their face, and I know it's a thrill for them.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just as much a thrill for us. I mean, we were the same kids in those same chairs, you know,
Right.
same jerseys. Mine actually looked very similar to that jersey growing up. But I mean, it was just that passion for the game that they have is the same passion that people in the NFL should have.
All right, let's go back out to
Still
Zach.
football.
Question number 2, Zach.
We got Braden here. Braden, what position do you play?
Play corner.
What's your question for Damien?
Who's your favorite football player when you're growing up as a kid?
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson.
Charles Woodson was my favorite player because at Michigan, he played every position and played every position very well. And I love that he could return punts, kicks, interceptions, catch touchdown passes, whatever he needed to do, that's what he did. And him and he was definitely a favorite. And of course, Jerry Rice was just his work ethic and the way that he played was just somebody that I've always admired.
Have you played against Charles Woodson yet?
I was just thinking the same
December
thing.
23rd.
That's what I was going to. I was
Okay.
thinking that.
First time ever.
Wow.
So when you have to take him to school, to catch it, is that gonna be weird?
Not at all.
Will you tell him before the game?
Nope.
Because that
Just to-
happens. That
'cause you
happens
could-
with players, right?
Soften him up a little. Just
No
telling
way.
him how you admired him. And
I think that could be an effective tactic. Hey, you were my favorite guy. To
I just did a
soften him up and then
Yeah.
take him to the house.
I feel like it'd be much better if I just had like a great game and then after the game talk to him like, hey man, I used to watch you growing up. Like you were one of my favorites ever.
Yeah,
but that could be like taken as a backhanded compliment at that point.
Yeah, if you have 2 touchdowns on him,
Yeah.
he doesn't care.
But that wouldn't be my fault.
He'll be mad. He'll be mad though.
But he'd
Get-
still
get
be
him
one of my
before.
favorite players.
Have you had a chance to meet Jerry Rice?
I haven't. And I would love to someday. Jerry, if you're listening, I would love to meet you one day.
All right, let's get question number 3 from Zach.
Up next, we got Brendan. Brendan, what position do you play?
Defensive end.
What's your question for Damien?
Who's your best buddy on the team?
Ooh, best buddy on the team.
Now you gotta
This could, like,
pick
get me in
people.
trouble.
Yeah.
I always tell my kids, don't just designate that you have one best friend. You want to have a lot of good friends.
You know what? I'm really our receiver group is a very tight knit group, so I would say the receivers. But Michael Preston is probably my closest friend on the team. That's probably who I hang out with the most.
There's no doubt you guys are the life of the party. I mean, last week Lavelle Hawkins
Lavelle
came in
Hawkins.
here,
Oh, my
and
goodness.
it was like a stand-up act.
Of course.
Your guy,
He came with
Michael
J-Mac?
Yes. And Michael Preston came in here. He brought his own video camera.
Yeah, have we seen the editing? Does the finished product come out?
We're not done
Life
yet.
of the practice
We
squad?
will be done at the end of the season.
Okay.
It will be finished.
You got to pass along a version of that because we will
do.
post that up because I think some people would want to see that.
Oh, people would
The
definitely,
behind the
they
scenes
would
look.
kill to see it.
Yes, what it's like on the practice squad. That's some pretty good stuff. All right, great job. We got time for one more quick one here, Zach, if we hurry.
Yeah, we've got Luke here. Luke, what position did you play?
Brody. It's
Oh, we got Brody. Brody, what's your position?
defensive end.
What's your question for Damien?
What's your favorite position?
My favorite position in football?
That you've ever played.
Probably free safety.
Well, I was going to say, you thought about that for a while.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what my favorite position's not. Now it is, but wide receiver. Like I was
You didn't
growing
envision yourself as a wide
up,
receiver
never.
growing up.
If y'all knew how many times I quit football, you would really have to. We'd have to sit down and have a conversation about this. But
When did
growing
you
up,
decide that I need to stick with this position?
I didn't really decide
No?
that. It was kind of decided for me.
Okay.
I played defense throughout high school. I played a little bit of offense sparingly my freshman, sophomore year. And then my junior year, we had our leading receiver, he had gone on, he graduated, and our coach was like, you got to play this full time now. And I definitely didn't want to do it. I hated getting hit. So, growing up, that was just not motivating to me to go out there and get a ball that everybody's chasing me. But I loved hitting, so if I played defense, I would go do that. And free safety was the best way to do that.
Wow.
All right, when we come back, we might have time for one more question. A bonus question, an encore performance by our friends from Nolansville. They've done a great job as the Swiftwick Sox Team of the Week. When we come back to our 4 questions, Damien will have to go solo this week with his selections. And he can ponder this all the way on his drive to Arkansas tonight. How did those questions? What about them? When we come back, you'll hear him. Sports Night continues, presented by Baptist Sports Medicine on 102.5 The Game.